Reynolds, and welcome back to this review show where I just trash gacha games all day.
Just go off on console games. Or on gacha games. We're probably approaching the end of the Horse Girl game arc. I hate to say it, but unfortunately, the random factors are just tuned too low to probably maintain my interest for long. The degree of luck that I got, because I actually calced out the likelihood of getting what an individual one of the 3 stars that I got. I spent all weekend. Not all. I was doing other shit as well, but I basically went through 20 runs with Symboli Rudolph over the weekend and didn't get a single 3-star. So, isn't streamer luck exclusively really good? So anyway, now I'm getting normal luck. This is the thing. I did 20 runs, didn't get a single 3-star, and then I decided, I should probably do the math here. And it turns out that the probability of getting, if you did a perfect run, the probability of, if you did a run where you didn't care which type of spark you got and you got all your stats up to 600, your odds of getting a single 3-star on any given run, which means that you're ignoring the 1 in 5 chance of targeting a specific stat. You're just doing the thing, is 1 in 20. So you have a 1 in 20 chance. There's no way to manipulate that. There's no way to interact with that, right? So there's the 1 in 20, and then there's no way to interact with that at all. You can get it up to a 1 in 10 if you get the stat so high that you're no longer targeting a specific stat, and then the 1 in 20, then the 1 in 5 gets added to it, right? Not that it matters, because who wants a 3-star wits or a 3-star guts, right? Those are not if you wanted guts, you just train guts. Why not? Anyway, it's a whole thing. So suffice to say, the random factors are low enough that after doing 20 runs where I'm I'm trivially doing the thing that I'm trying to accomplish, and it's just it's unfortunate. Hey, look, even if it was a wit game, it wouldn't matter, because if it was a wit game, you just click the wit button over and over again. That's the thing, is that you just train wit. Training wit is good. We don't need to get into it because I also need to shit on Genshin. The thing that Genshin Impact reminded me most of is a game that was developed by 3 people. I have played a lot of games that are just in the genre of we're basically making Dark Souls, but we didn't do too much with it. And that genre generally brings something to the table with it, even when it's made by a group of 3 people. And I don't know what the hook is for Genshin, but I don't know what size the development team, but I don't think it was developed by 3 people. They have no excuse for the game feeling like a game that was built by 3 people. The fact that right click and shift both make you dodge backwards the fact that if you want to sprint, you have to dodge roll first because they didn't bother to implement a situational, if you hold this button down, it causes this secondary effect instead. Like the kinds of stuff. Like I started playing Lies of P over the weekend, right? It's the same genre of game. And Lies of P is like a worse version of Bloodborne. That's how I would describe Lies of P. Is it's like slightly less interesting Bloodborne with a less interesting parry mechanic. As someone who doesn't use the Bloodborne parry at all because it's a gun and I don't use guns, I prefer the parry in that to the parry in Lies of P just because it's more interesting. I understand it's more interesting. I'm not using it anyway. So, anyway. I tried out Genshin Impact in order to confirm that there's no way on earth that this phone game plays like a proper action game. And I confirmed that if being generous, it plays like an action game that was developed by 3 people that is predominantly a dating simulator, not an action game. I feel like it might be slander to talk about this, like the specific game that came to mind the second that I opened up the game. Because I don't want to shit on some tiny development team. But it's like it's not a problem with a tiny development team that wants to make like a cute, like Persona paired with Devil May Cry, like mix those two together, makes their first video game ever, and it's it works. Like the combat is fine, right? It's not unenjoyable combat. It's just like it's not like, man, Devil May Cry came out like 25 years ago, right? Like, dude, we're in a very deep, like a densely populated genre when we're talking about Genshin Impact. Like, Genshin Impact is competing with Devil May Cry, right? Uma Musume is competing with the Chow minigame in like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and that's where gacha games really thrive. Is in like genres of game that are dead, right? Like nobody has made a game in this genre in 20 years. So I'm honestly shocked. I guess I'm not that shocked that people know about it because the advertising budget was definitely higher than the budget for the entire video game. But I will say I have not actually gotten to the combat proper. I fought a level 2 slime at the start that randomly attacked me out of the water, and then it just like left, and I realized that I don't even know that the thing was even attacking me. It was attacking me. I don't know whether it would have done damage or not, because I dodged the one attack that it launched at me. But then when I was like walking up to it again, when it was at half life, it just refused to attack me again. So I'm like, oh, okay, well I guess I'm not going to keep fighting this. But so I have that experience with combat, and that's it. The rest of it was just like maneuvering around the world, but it just felt very like, oh, okay, well, you know how many fucking games I could be playing that play like Dark Souls? I'd say play like Dark Souls mostly because I feel like it's an insult to say play like to say that it plays like God of War or Thinger. Dark Souls was deliberately simplistic in the way that it handled certain things. Which one of these is my current save? Did we go out to Ravenshore? It looks like we did. So yeah. So the gacha arc is very likely done for now. I have switched over to playing Lies of P. I caught up to my previous save file in like 2 hours of extremely sleep-deprived gameplay yesterday. That's not true. It wasn't. I was extremely sleep-deprived for the entire day. So I was probably playing for 8 hours yesterday. But it's all good. Probably no more of those in my. It was so. The other thing that was really funny, I'm gonna say, it's a little insulting for a game that looks like Genshin does to be 100 GB. Optimize your shit. Look, I don't know how much content you have. Optimize your shit. That shit was 100 gigs. That took me like, and it actually, I was gonna say it took me 10 minutes. It took me like 5 minutes to download because I live in Singapore, but it doesn't matter because their servers are the weak point. Actually, their servers are garbage. So it took me like 40 minutes or something to download the game, which is psychotic. So, we're now done shitting on Genshin for now because I didn't play it for very long. I got to one of the first tutorial things after way too much time walking in a single direction for no reason, and and then they asked me to kill a slime for no reason. Well, because Genshin is a very simplified version of Demon Souls. That's what it is, which is what the Soulsborne series is you take the action games, these action games, and you say, what if we brought back the attentiveness that's required from the games prior to Devil May Cry, which I don't think there were a lot of games that were. It's almost like if you can think of Dark Souls as a crossover between Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, that style of gameplay, and Devil May Cry, in the sense that when you do a jump in Oddworld, you're done. If you did the jump correctly, you succeed, but you ain't changing your trajectory midway. You've made your choice. Best have chosen correctly, right? And that kind of attentiveness is intrinsic to what makes Dark Souls good. If you just took Dark Souls gameplay and you don't have attention to detail, you have every mediocre action game of the last 20 years. Because everybody's copying Dark Souls, right? So, but yeah, any game that has a very simplistic attack and dodge, and that's your interaction with the world, is Dark Souls. It's just a matter of whether they've done it well or done it badly. I really enjoyed the series. The Dark Souls series I really enjoy. But I've also played... But the thing is that you can tell... Like, when I'm playing Lies of P, I can tell that it's like, oh, this series, if you don't nail poise, this is garbage. Right? Like, you have to nail poise. Not to say that, like... Not to say that Lies of P is garbage. What I'm saying is that, like... An interaction with an enemy feels like garbage if you don't nail poise for that specific interaction. The amount that the enemies hit stunned depend, like whether your attack versus the creature's size versus the weight of the attack that they're doing, how that combination of factors together needs to be nailed for it to feel like the combat isn't just like floaty nonsense, right? Yeah, like other games in like sort of like the action, RPG combat would be like things like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that, right? I don't remember if you could jump attack. When I wasn't. Was I able to jump attack and? That's very funny to watch the chat, but not a stream of somebody else. Let's see. By the way, what haven't we done in a while? Live forever and ever. Use a thing on a. Yes, we need to use a thing on a thing. Don't necessarily want to do it on you. Do I have any that I really want to do that on? Maybe this. The plan for today is hopefully to finish the game. Oh, we haven't done Endless Arena. Look, we can't do Endless Arena because we literally... I got another notification saying that, like, Silk Song is out tomorrow, and I got that notification yesterday, okay? Like, we are in rapid fire mode. What the fuck am I doing talking about gacha games? We need to get our ass in gear because there ain't no time for this shit. We need to finish the game so that I can I can play Silk Song. Which is probably not coming out, but every time I get random misinformation on my timeline, I'm going to use it as a justification for why we need to go faster. That's my stance. Every single time. There we go. That was what I was told to do earlier, right? I haven't scrolled up. Start up a new run and then just do Endless Arena and maps exclusively. That's the new strat. Look, I don't think they're gonna have the release date show up on Steam. I think it's just gonna show up on Steam. There have been games that has happened with in the past, and I suspect that Silk Song is going to be one of them. Give me a second. I need to get rid of this stupid exclamation point that shouldn't be here. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Because yeah, I agree. There was actually a person that did. Was doing runs that they were calling like Salt Core or something like that, where they were treating like Might and Magic 6 as a roguelite. And because of the way that because of how rare spells are, I was very disinterested in that at the time. But on Maw, I think that it would actually be kind of an interesting dynamic because everything can drop any item, so you get way more spell books than you do in vanilla. In vanilla, spellbooks are an extremely rare item type to see. And there just aren't that many things that can drop them. So, yeah. Where am I going? I think we're going to 7. We're going to 7. What were we doing in 7? Minotaur Maze. Gotcha. Gotcha. No, we're not doing gotcha anymore. We're done with gotchas. I'll probably try to get like Rudolph finished this week, but I burned through a lot of stamina resources over the weekend trying to get that done. And because of the nature of like luck, that I'm no closer now than I was before. It's not like the runs are getting better or easier. They're just the same run every time. I wish that the campaign was harder. Like the person who mentioned, like Tozer Cat was mentioning that someone did like an entire run training just like wits. I mean that's true, but also it's Bakshin. It's like, okay, well, we have a sprinter who does exclusively sprints because her trainer is gaslighting her into doing only sprints. And the, like, very easy to imagine how you would get a Bakshin run done with only sprints. Because, I mean, sprints increase. I think she's a front runner too, so sprints increase. Also, Wits is a really strong stat. People don't realize how good Wits is. Wits is actually a very strong stat in that game. The number of times that I've gotten too good of luck and had too good in other stats, and my Wits was like 250, and so I just kept losing races on Symboli Rudolph was excessive. It just kept happening. It's like if I get too good of luck with the stats that I actually give a shit about, then I end up like getting completely boned. Because if you don't have enough wits, you just get blocked in periodically and get completely boned. That's pretty funny. I always die horribly in this dungeon, so it'll be a nice change of pace. Because I don't think we're going to die horribly in here. If we die, it won't be horribly. The casters are... I have never been so vindicated, okay? People kept, like, coping at me, going like, oh, well, you're going to miss being able to kill things around, like, corners with that... You know, all the cheese you do with a melee, you won't be able to do with casters. It's like the amount of cheese I can do on these casters. Including all of the cheese that I can do with melees. I did for the first 30 hours of the run. Okay, let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's see. And I might need it for this too. Okay, you're fine. Got it. You're not a boss or anything. Okay, I don't think there's any traps in this dungeon that I need to worry about. Alright. We've got 15% done. Ooh. That would be fun. Also, I would... Yeah, exactly. Though, to be fair, that was to do a level 360 map. That was not to do the thing. As is good a prop. As a good look. I'm not calling out anyone in particular for desiring the caster run. I'm specifically calling attention to certain people who I do not remember who it was, who would go like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe." Though they could have just been like, they could have just been egging me on. See, this is the thing. They could have just been like saying that in order to, you know, make me desire, similar to why I loaded up Genshin, to just activate my what is the word? The obstinate is not the correct term. That map was very useful. It also gave us a bunch of loot that we held on to for a billion years and then never used. Oh shit! Hey, buddy. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. There we go. Oh, never mind. You didn't die. Not obstinate. I mean, prickly works, but it's not the word I'm looking for. My general cantankerousness. There we go. We're going to go with cantankerousness. So the people who were saying like, oh well, you never know, you might end up missing all of the incredible utility that you get out of being able to hit enemies that are 5 feet away from you around corners. Those people might have just been trying to activate my cantankerousness and force me to do the thing so that they could watch how broken it would be. That's a possibility. In which case, I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle. Fuck, I just shot the wall. It's over. It's Soj over. It's rude. It really is. Okay. I guess we should probably go save. Someone mentioning an omnipotent has made me, like, a little concerned, because if I do run into an omnipotent, it is just going to run me down. Yep, them hydras just hanging out, having a whale of a time. But yeah, there's a... Look, if I haven't run into a boss yet. It's very easy for a boss to kill me, okay? Look, it's very easy for a boss to kill Goose. And only Goose. It is very funny that the only character that's really vulnerable to being insta-kibbed is a melee. I think that's very funny. Poor Goose. Poor Goose. Goose would have less to worry about if I did this. That's a good question. Did I ever do that? Yeah, we got Master Bodybuilding. Goose is just squishy because they just don't have... Look, the only reason the other characters are as bulky as they are is because Monoshield is completely busted. Like, it's so good. Oh, and Cassowary. I don't know. Nope. we can get GM, right? Yeah. We never got Mastery. We didn't bother. We need to go find, God, what's his name? Is his name Traveler? Is that his name? The guy in Might and Magic 6? I know exactly where he is. I know exactly where he is, but... Well, actually, that's not true. I don't remember which specific house this is, but I do remember the general location. I'm even envisaging. We're like try-harding here, okay?
No room.
But yeah, so I think Tozer Cat, you mentioned the Japanese servers. Is there like a mechanism to increase the chance of getting the appropriate sparks on the Japanese version?
I have too much. No room.
Like, is there like a mechanic that eventually will unlock that allows you to not have a 1 in 100 chance of getting... Alright. Because it's like on... well, that's a pretty significant increase, right? Choose which set you want. Wait, you like which... Okay, you can choose which set of sparks. That's a huge deal. If each run is 3 runs, you're taking like a 1 in 100 chance and bringing it down to 1 in 33. That's actually reasonable. A 1 in 33 chance is very reasonable. Is that on how? Like, what's the cooldown on that? And how many years is it going to be before that mechanic locks? Well, it's not surprising. I should, you know, I actually should. I think I'm going to, for the first time, show my actual like in-game image so y'all can see how fucking stupid my account looks right now. Let's see. Oh well, carrots are. That's like a. I can't use carrots to re-roll a run. That's crazy. How would I ever get any support cards? How would I get support cards if I did that? Look, I have already gotten every. It's. Do you know how many times you need to reroll? It's a 1 in 100 chance. You need to reroll for 2/3 of those chances. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a super creek or anything, so I don't have a particularly good combo to set up with other people's Kitasan Blacks. It is funny that Kitasan Black is like going to be meta forever, considering that it was like a card that was basically out on release. I'm gonna save the game. What, you can't just read the kanji? But they're little pictures that are vaguely related to the concepts they're trying to convey. It's easy. Easy peasy. See this one with the little house in the corner? That's a car. Because a car is like a moving house. I actually do not remember what the kanji for a car looks like. It looks like something. It might have been like a wagon or something, which is way too reasonable. I don't remember. Yeah, it's unfortunately my like actual setup is very mediocre. I have not really allowed myself to make use of any of the calculators to try to calc out which of my support cards is the best card. I might end up doing that eventually. The issue is that, like, I just don't see much reason to. Because, like... Because it just makes such a little difference. Because like I'm pretty trivially getting 600 in all the stats that I need every run, so like improving the quality of my support cards is a very marginal utility at the moment. That's really something that I would worry about once I already have my breeding stock. Yeah, as far as I can tell, it seems to me like they're basically, like, just copy-pasting the, like, patch structure, like, and the events from the original. I don't know how long they're gonna keep doing it that way, but that seems to be what people are expecting at the moment, is for it to be like, okay, well, this is literally... gonna follow the exact same release schedule. Which is unfortunate, because it's like, okay, so whatever changes that they felt they needed to make over the course of the last however many years the game's been out, we're just not gonna see any of
I
those.
have too much.
See. see. Is that's the character that shows up and has like 2 lines, right? The Uma Musume that's being trained by the other trainer. You know, I will say, very on topic. Very on topic. Forever Never. Oh, that's funny. Was that added later, and so that's why they don't have it, even though it's part of this scenario?
We've got it. No room.
Interesting. Okay, I'll roll for Horseshoe in just a second. I wanted to get to the point where I could save. Nobody's talking about it on like none of the YouTubers seem to be talking about it as like a weird like exception to the content release schedule. So my assumption would be that it's because it was like content that was added later that is added. It might be part of like the power creep. Because like my understanding is that the initial campaign is like the weakest campaign for training. In that version, what am I doing? Random 5. We got a 3, so we're using a Horseshoe on Cassowary. I guess I need to save again, huh? Since we just used a Horseshoe, let's do it. But yeah, there are balance reasons to not implement later patch stuff in that relate to like the power creep that happens over time. But when it comes to quality of life stuff, I would be shocked, honestly, if they don't start implementing some of the quality of life stuff early. I wouldn't be super shocked because it depends on how much of like a cash grab it is. Where it's like, okay, well, we literally have an existing game with an existing thing because the company that's running the global one is not the original company; it's a different company. So like, they don't have to make like any design decisions if they just copy paste exactly what the original developers did for each content patch. And they can sell that laziness as being like true to the original. Like it's a great what's the word? It's not the word scam is not the correct one. Racket. It's a great racket. To be able to do that.
There isn't any room. I have too much.
But yeah, I don't know. Depending on the way that they make their decisions, I could see it going either way. If I'm being honest, I think that it's more likely that they are going to lean into the laziest version possible, which is to just directly copy paste everything from the Japanese version 3 years later. Like that, I would be very surprised if that wasn't the angle that the company took. I'd have to know more about the company to know whether that's fair or not. But I don't have to know that much more about the company. All I need to know is that they took an existing property, like they took a gacha game, which is basically like a money printer, and got the licensing rights for it overseas with the intention to just like duplicate the existing thing. I like how it's like Age of Empires has a power creep problem these days. It's like Man, that's so true. American Empire is really out of control. Well, it's not even just that, Tozier Cat. It's also like there's a couple of elements to it that make it more or less pay to win. The fact that they are telling you which banners are going to exist in advance means that people who are paying for the banners know exactly which banners they need to pay for. So, like, the whales, it doesn't matter for, but for the dolphins, like, the dolphins are way stronger because that's not true. That's I don't believe you. Not because I don't believe you. To be clear, I do believe you. I am existing in a world state where they are not still releasing DLC. Excuse me. The word is expansions. We're talking about Age of Empire 2. Age of Empires 2 didn't have DLC. DLC had not been invented as a buzzword yet. So they are definitely not still coming out with expansions for fucking Age of Empires 2. A game that predates EverQuest. They're not. DLC for Age of Empires 2. That's a good laugh. Ha! But weren't there like 20 civs like 40 years ago? EverQuest. Yeah, the difference is that EverQuest is like an MMO. It is actually remarkable that EverQuest managed to survive the transition over to free-to-play. Yeah, but they also had 2 or 3 expansions within like a year that came out with a bunch of new expansion. Came out with a bunch of new civs. Right, like they made the expansions immediately. Man, remember when like entire games took like 2 years to develop, and expansions for those games came out 3 months later because otherwise the game wouldn't be relevant anymore? Okay, that's not true though, because there's been 150 new civs that came out the second people figured out how to hack the game to add civs into it. I guarantee you that there's a Singapore mod for Age of Empires 2. And I would be very willing to bet that the new civs that they're selling you as DLC share a lot of fucking code with something that a modder came out with 15 years ago. Look, call me cynical. Oh, we need some of these remains from here. Is there a puzzle box in here too? Box also in here? I didn't actually talk to the people here. We'll see. Yep. Fucking called it. Did they get the rights to any of those? Because, fun fact, like, you don't have the right to a thing just because it's based off of something of yours. Yeah. Shocking. Of course, the law doesn't exist. Like, copyright law doesn't matter unless you have the money to enforce it, right? So it doesn't matter that they're just blatantly, like, taking someone's copyright, because that's not, like, a criminal offense. It's a civil offense, which means that the government isn't going to go after you for that. The only person who can go after you is the person who owns the copyright. And if that's just a dude who wrote some code like
No room.
15 years ago, who barely remembers they did it.
No room.
Yeah, people are extremely happy to just let corpos get away with whatever the fuck they want to get away with. It's, like, really mind-boggling. Like, a company just stealing, like it's objectively copyright infringement. So, like, a company just selling you stolen material should lead to a full boycott of the company, and people having conversations with, like, like, basically, like, your community should be trying to get you thrown in prison. Right? That's the appropriate response to finding out that a company tried to sell your shit. Right? Like, it's... They hired him and used his stuff. So did they buy his material? Because that hiring someone and making them your employee doesn't give you control over their existing copyrights. That's not how that works. But yeah, if what they ended up doing was exploiting the fact that they could get a scab, basically, then that is very classic corpo bullshit. And if they got him to sign away his rights to the creative work that he made before he signed up with them, then that is on him. But also, you should still be boycotting the company. I'm sorry. That's fucking crazy. Like, I think, like, Neverwinter Nights did that too, I believe. Like, I think that Neverwinter Nights also pulled the, we're gonna sell you modules that you fucking made.
Yes. We've done it.
But, like, so did FromSoft, and I'll admit, I'm a hypocrite. I bought Elden Ring, despite what they did. Despite what they did with Dark Souls.
We've done it.
I'll be honest. It's bad. It's bad. The fact that copyright law does not exist for people, it only exists for corporations, is actually a massive issue. It's a massive issue with the way that the modern economy works, because all money is through whatchamacallit? All money in the modern economy goes through the vehicle of intellectual property. All of it. Even, like, manufacturing income gets converted into intellectual property and before it becomes actual income for anybody. Like, if you look at the way that, like, corporate architecture is built, like, the way that Apple runs its business is the way that it runs its tax avoidance, right, is through it basically has given a perpetual exclusive license to a subsidiary that exists in Luxembourg. I believe it's Luxembourg. And, well, they might have moved since then. They were doing the double Irish thing, like, years ago, but I don't know if they're still doing that or if they've moved on to a different scheme. But basically, they gave a perpetual exclusive license to Apple, their branding, the intellectual property branding that they have for the company, to a subsidiary of theirs, and then they pay royalties in the form of all of their income to that company via a series of transactions that go through Ireland to get to a tax haven in the European Union. And that's simply how, like, the entire that's how all of the money that is made all over the world gets it by this massive corporation that everyone knows the name of, is basically just never paid, and no taxes ever get paid on it. Because they gave away the license to themselves to somebody that they own. It's completely stupid. It's the most stupid bullshit in existence. So they don't make any money, is the thing. They just don't make no money. So our next destination is Might and Magic 6. So we're heading to 6 next. We're going to Dione, or not Dione, the pit. We're in the yellow. This ghost is a problem. Are you kidding me? Okay. We do need to do... Well, we might. I actually don't know if it still exists. It might have been replaced. But we'll find out. That's a good point. I should probably go there first. We don't have any, like, quests to turn in right now, do we? Excuse you. Let's see. I guess I could just kill the guards. Let's see. Oh, right, yeah, I just need to. Because I am hated. I released a famous wizard criminal from prison. I don't use temples. That's against the rules. Look, I don't make the rules. I just make them up. It is actually very it was very funny. I saw like a couple of like YouTube shorts that one of them I linked in the thing that was about like basically like rigid thinking, and which is like one of the characteristic. I think rigid thinking is the term. It's a characteristic of autism. And it was very funny because it's like, I do not feel called out. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, okay, so when you're following one of the like arbitrary rules, you know, we have a bunch of, let's see, wrong spot. I thought that there was just the one spot. Inside. Alright. Anyway, it was funny because it's like, oh, when you're dealing with following rules, you need to think about whether these are rules that are like access have been destroyed. Okay, so I don't think we can do that. Let's see. It's like, oh, think about whether it's a rule that you made up or a rule that society follows. Because if it's a rule that you made up, you should probably tell people. You should probably tell people about the rule that you're following. Because they will not get it unless you tell them. It was just cute. That was a PSA that wasn't on the video that I showed there. But anyway, like, yeah, you can make an entire channel out of your rigid thinking. That's a thing you could do. So, I think we pop over to Stone City because I am. What time is it? I'm gonna sell my shit, and this is a convenient place to do it.
This item is weak. We don't need it.
Okay, I guess I should probably
Best armor money couldn't buy.
pop in here. There's nothing in this inventory. So do this.
This item is weak. We don't need it. We don't need it. This item is weak. Leave it. Leave it. Worthless. Worthless. Leave it. Worthless. Worthless. Leave it. Worthless.
Yeah, one thing that I do think is interesting about neuroatypical people
It's probably okay.
is that I feel like it's fairly common for people who are neuroatypical to end up better socialized than neurotypical people as they get older, because they have to actually think about what the rules that they're following are and what are the implications of them, and they are actively selecting which rules that they're going to follow. They have like a harder time getting to baseline proficiency, but the route that they take to get there confers a greater degree of expertise than than neurotypical people have, sort of like by default. It's actually similar to how like people who are like adult learners of a language, people who learn a language not as their first language, but as adults, have a tendency to know certain things about the language that people who are native speakers just will never know. Like the actual grammatical structure of a language, like adult learners of the language probably understand the rules a lot better. There's going to be a lot of stuff where like a regional colloquialism will go completely unnoticed by a native speaker, where they will not realize that nobody other than people from their town does like a very specific thing, and they're following rules that they don't know they're following. So they end up with like verbal tics that they don't realize they even have, because it's invisible to them because they're not thinking about their language use. which is kind of interesting. And part of that is just like people who are monolingual specifically, but I think part of it is
Tell me what you need.
true of anyone who kind of just grows up with a language, because you're thinking about it partially from the perspective of a small child. Because a small child is the one who learned these lessons and wasn't able to think about them that deeply. Which is basically what happens with like neurotypical people and like all of the like social rules that they follow, where they're not picking and choosing what rules to follow, like, and they can't necessarily explain any of the rules. Whereas like if you talk to like any like high functioning autistic person who is in their 20s or their 30s about why a thing is done, they will be able to give you an essay on why it is that like why it is that socially this is the thing that people do. And the reason is because they had to learn over the course of a very painful 15, 20 years
I have too much.
what the fuck people are on about and why they're doing why they're constantly lying, why they're constantly what like people say lies are bad, so why is everyone always lying, right? And it's like because they don't consider the lies they tell to be lies at all, right? They don't parse to them as lies, right? There's a bunch of stuff that people don't realize they're doing if they grew up casually and easily being able to do it. Look, there's a lot of stuff that I grew up casually and easily being able to do that I could not tell you how to do them. When it comes to a lot of social shit, I know exactly why everything is done. I know exactly. Okay, so we finished the control set. Are we literally just on Paradise Valley now? We have to place the statuettes. I could go pick up the statuette in Blackshire, but I think I'm lazy and I'm just going to pick up both of them once I've finished the next place. So it looks to me like we maybe are just going to Paradise Valley now, which is west of Kriegspire, I guess. I think we're going to have to walk twice. Sweetwater, Paradise Valley, same difference. Sweetwater's in Paradise Valley. Look at this map. Make sure that I'm justified in saying that. Are we justified in that claim? Yeah, see? Paradise Valley goes all the way from top to bottom. It's all... Hermit's Isle is part of Paradise Valley, and so is Sweetwater. I forgot to go talk to the Traveler dude. Let's go talk to him. We're gonna set down a beacon. Do we need the beacon in Clanker's lab? I don't care. I don't care. We're not worrying about it. We're going to TP over to Freehaven, and we're going to see how tanky Cassowary gets when they get Mastery. Or when they get Grand Mastery, rather. I don't remember which one of these houses it is. I think it's this house. I could have just passed it. I just passed it. It's the first house. And his name is Traveler. Jason Traveler. Okay, we have 438k. Allegedly, Cassowary has higher durability than the other two. So... Oh, we also don't have Master Regen. where would I pick up Master Region? GM is in Paradise Valley. Is it in Freehaven? Is it in one of the taverns? Freehaven after 6? Well, it's 6 a.m., so we're not doing it. I don't care. It's fine. I don't need to adjust the time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Silk Song's coming out. Wait, can I not fly here? Oh, that's rude. I don't think I just saw the free flying message here. This is gonna be trouble. No, it's not. I can invis. Who needs fly when you can just invis and then blow everybody up? There's a chest just chilling right here.
No room. I have too much.
Okay, there's a boss here.
Ready.
It really is. Fuck. Nope. Okay. Okay, we're gonna be in trouble here. We're not. We just have to fly away once we do the thing. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Wait, no, we can fly freely here. Okay, never mind, we're fine. That's...
Ready.
I didn't notice the message, but apparently it came out. Yeah, this place was pretty rough with meelees, from my recollection. We were really struggling toward the end of the Might and Magic 6 portion of that run. Okay. Goose just survived an attack. Imagine that. Okay then.
No room. There isn't any room. It is down. Easy slaying.
And we're in the green again. Well, you know...
It is down.
The sad thing is that we are probably never going to have this much unstoppable cosmic power ever again. That is the one thing.
Can't carry it. No room. Can't carry it.
Hive will be very interesting to see, because the cooldown thing will not work in the Hive because I'll be using AoEs. Hey Ninja Burr, how's it going? Let's see if we can obliterate all of these at once. Okay, we're just gonna walk away. And by walk I do mean fly. Okay, and you're a leecher, right? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to fight this for a little bit. Oh, shit! How many fucking projectiles are you gonna toss? One right after each other. You know what I think the change is? I think the change is that they have the ability to have multiple spells. I think that's what it is. I think that the enemies in vanilla always only had one possible spell. I don't think they ever had multiple. I guess that's not is that true? I think it is true. I don't think that like necromancers have a spell and thing. I guess they do, don't they? No, I think I'm wrong. Because basically there's an issue where the enemies are able to like toss out spells before they actually finish the cast animation for them. And with the enemies that have multiple spells like this, you'll see like multiple projectiles coming out of them before they've finished a single animation, because the spell cast is desynced from the other thing. But what? So here's the actual question, though: is that because they were the same creature with two different spells they could cast? Did they ever cast Incinerate outside, or did they only cast Meteor Swarm? Because that implies if they only cast it inside, that would imply to me that they're actually two different like creatures. I'm probably just misremembering it, though. They probably have both. I don't really doubt that my memory of mechanics is... I've gotten corrected too many times. Been corrected too many times to have any trust in my memory of how mechanics work in vanilla. Okay, saving it up. Bloop. I guess I should keep casting spells now since I knew that these take more than one hit. Okie dokie. So, we've only cleared half of the area, which is kind of surprising. Okay, bolster level in... Wait! That's interesting. Is the height limit higher in Merge? Like, is the Might and Magic 8's height limit for Fly higher or something? Because I feel like in vanilla you could only fly up to like here, right? Like I feel like you couldn't get there. I'm gonna assume that that yes just came out and that it's in response to what I just said. That's interesting. Oh, that really trivializes this approach, huh? Not having to deal with meteor swarms. Because like the lead up to here in 6 is made more difficult by the fact that you can't actually fly all the way up here, right? Like you have to actually be on ground level, which means that all those meteor swarms are very, very dangerous. It's so dumb. It's just. Oh, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Specifically said, don't do it. Okay, there we go. So we invis. Unfortunately, they've now split up, so I do have to deal with them one by one. I didn't realize that like half of the zone was here. Like that's kind of interesting. I had assumed that like the bulk of the enemies were in the rest of the zone, and then this portion was like a fairly small component. But like this is like half of the enemies in the entire zone are here. It's kind of interesting. It's so different with invis and fly. So different. Because even if you do fly in this section, like you're close enough to these walls, like that it's legitimately quite dangerous even if you were flying. Unless you can just fly over the walls completely. Okay. So we're almost done with Sweetwater. Save the game. Alright, mission successful. We've cleared the final exterior map of Might and Magic 6.
No room. No room.
People should keep an eye on that Silksong store page.
No room.
We might have to swap over midstream. God, would that be funny. That would be really funny.
No.
I don't think I would swap over midstream. It would depend. It would depend. If it seemed funny enough, I would probably do it. Like right before finishing like the last boss of the entire series would be a very funny way to do it.
No room.
Be like, okay, well, we're gonna finish up Silksong quick, and then we'll come back to it.
No room.
Okay. All right, we do need to turn in this quest, I guess. So let's do the thing. Have we turned in the Hermit's Isle one? I sure hope so. Sure hope we did the one in Hermit's Isle. We need to plop down a thing over here, wherever the hell this thing is. Anyone remember where this thing is? I thought it was around the lake, but I didn't see it. No, Hermit's Isle. It is kind of wild how far I can see. What is that? Oh, it's a stump. Like, what on earth is that? Okay, there we go. We found the pedestal. So, we are going to put down a beacon. We're going to put it down... Why did I put down a beacon in Paradise Valley? I hit the wrong button. Okay. Load autosave. Going to slap a beacon down in Paradise Valley. Then we are going to not recall a beacon. We are going to town portal Blackshire. And then we will grab this.
No room.
I thought that there were
There isn't any more room.
there were 3 total. I mean, let's see. Okay, yes. I thought that there were 3 of them in like the late game areas. So we recall this beacon. Put the cat down. Then we go to New Sorpigal. Oh, we can also do the obelisks, which means that we can get... What is it, a grain? We're actually going to do that now. Where are my obelisks at? I don't have 7. Do we know which one 7 is? So that should be... Shit, is that bootleg? Is 7 bootleg bay? I was thinking about Igraine. Okay, we're going back to sweep. Is it Freehaven? How is it counted out? I assume that the upper left one is this one, which... It should be roughly the center, that's true, because there's 15. So it should be 1 prior to the center from the top. Which is exactly where I thought, but it's because but the question is Freehaven that is Mist south of Bootleg Bay on the Because Freehaven looks like it's way more in the middle. But I guess there's 2 middle spaces. West of here is Blackshire, right? If west of here is Blackshire, then it has to be here. How could it be Frozen Highlands? Number 1 is... I mean, if you're going top to bottom first... That didn't give me a thing. Is it top to bottom? Like, up to bottom? This would be 4. And then this would... Then it would be Blackshire? Well, 7 and 8 are both in the middle, right? The exact center would be... Actually, no. Are they both in the middle? No, there's 15. There's 7 on both sides of 8. No, never mind. Blackshire's 5? But how could... But Black... Isn't Frozen Highlands north of here? How could... No, oh, Creekspire is north of here. You're right. You're right. Fucking nailed it. Fucking nailed it. You right. You right. There's only 3 down. Where's the thing? I don't actually remember where the other was. Is it just in the east of the town, just sitting in the middle of nowhere? You'd think I'd remember. Yes. Yes, that's true. That's true. You would think that I would remember this, considering how many times this has happened. Okay, we've now tagged all of those, which means we can go back to here. And we've already done this. Let's go grab our rock to the north center somewhere. And this is going to be a really big deal. Because
No room. Jump.
we get Guinevere and we get Igraine. So Igraine is very solid, Guinevere is very solid, and Morgan is also here.
Jump.
All of those are really solid. We also get the light and dark GM spells, which is kind of cool. So, Morgan is being equipped. We don't even have a necklace that's relevant. We're just going to do this. Let's take a look. We now, by default, should have plus 100% between just Morgan and this staff. At some point, we're going to be replacing the staff, and we'll have to worry about other stuff, but for now, that's fine. We are going to equip this on you. We're going to replace this. We now have 100% of our dark magic skill at all times because we have 2 legendaries. Each one of us gives us 50%. So we are now going to have a lot of stuff. Next, this is body, mind, and spirit, and a shit ton of spell points. We just replaced the ghost ring. The ghost ring doesn't matter for the thing either, so this is the way to go. And now we go to Blackshire and turn in the quest. Okay. And we can head over to 8. So we're not quite at the hive yet, because we do need to finish getting the others caught up again. But things are going fine for now. We're going to Jadame. And here we had finished up actually, we finished up the crystal place. So do we have any other things we can do here? We already did this. We can't do this because it causes the enemies to aggro. Kill all the dragons we're not doing. Okay. So, I guess we should probably train, considering that we have 5 levels. So let's pop over to Regna. Are you training? No. Where is the training? Nice. Is it in the middle? Is it this middle? No. It's not here. I need to go to Shadowspire. There is no trainer there. I'm just being silly.
We can train you. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Okay, so perfect. I think we just pump dark. At some point we will probably need to do Ascension, but now is not the time for that. I think we got everybody maxed out. Wait, didn't I give you... I did not give you... Right. I hope I can get another copy of that. If I can't get another copy of Igraine, that'll be unfortunate. But if I get another copy of Igraine, I can give it to you. Okay. Now, we go back to Ravenshore. We should probably sell before we do the final bit.
Rarities from across the land.
I already have both of those.
We don't need it. We don't need it. This item's weak.
We have... Do we have 6 more zones? No. Yes, we do. Do we have 6 or do we have more than that? I think it's 6, yeah. I think it's 4 elemental planes and the main thing and the dungeon. So it should be 6.
Business was a pleasure.
I completely forgot about the prisons.
Our axes are the best. Jump.
So with those, yeah, we've got 6 zones to clear. It makes sense that...
We don't need it.
Yep. It's gonna go fine. Popping over here. We are going over here. Did we actually loot the chests in here? Yes, okay, perfect. So we're done with the crystal. I'm gonna invis. And I'm supposed to do something here. Wait, what? Okay. 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 I should have just done it twice, because then I could easily, like, just look at it with the right mindset. Okay, I don't think there's any flyers, so I probably can't fly around here. So this is going to be a bit rough. Plus side, nothing is immune to any of my shit.
It is down. Get that one.
Okay, 6% cleared. Yeah, we've cleared out a hole here, so this is gonna be pretty smooth. Oh, is this the music from the title screen? I think it is, right? Okay. Okay, you need to swap to this. I think that mist form actually blocked an attack there. I think it immediately blocked that attack. Okay. Wow, you are very fast, actually. So speedy. And we do seem to be able to just, like, eat attacks from these for the most part. Presumably we won't be able to just eat attacks from the boss. I'm gonna fly up north. Let's make sure that we're actually clearing out this place a little sensibly.
Yes, we've done it.
Don't need to be super sensible about the whole thing, but we should be at least a little bit sensible.
Nice shot.
Okay. Got a relic bow. I guess spoilers. Spoilers! Is that a mod change or is that a merge mod or Might Magic 8 thing? That it, instead of saying relic, it says relic bow.
It won't be any trouble.
Alright, sleep well, live forever never. Oh, that's funny. Oh, right, because there aren't any artifacts in 8. I don't think there's any artifacts in 8. Nothing is coded as an artifact. There was some weird thing, if I recall correctly, with I guess they kind of were, right? I got the distinct impression that they weren't actually coded as artifacts. And they also didn't stack their like if they had like of the thinger, it didn't stack with the normal version of it either. Right? So like an of spirit magic unique item would not stack with of spirit magic as a thingamabobber. If I recall correctly, which I probably not remembering it correctly. And we just had a conversation about how that might have also been true in 7. But I'm also trying to recall if there were any artifacts in 7 that had that, and I don't remember where we landed on that. I don't know, I feel like they do stack in 7. I think it's just the ones that aren't actually artifacts that don't stack. Because wasn't there like a mace or something? Like, I think the flail, I think, is from 7. It is kind of wild that we've only cleared a quarter of the map. Like, we've hit a pretty decent portion. Let's see. Yeah, the water boots that I have are almost certainly from 7, I think. You can kind of just tell from the art style, usually. Okay, we're gonna save this. Pop over here. Down here. Let's save the game before we pull a boss. It's a Thorn Nightmare. How much EXP do we have? Oh god. Well, sleep well, Astro Kitty. We're at 35%. Okay, there's a boatload of enemies over here.
It is down.
These do not have a lot of HP. I do not. I feel like we're having a nice, relaxing time, so I should bring spreadsheets into this somehow. Gotta go on a rant about some random topic.
Can't carry it.
Not really. I'm trying to think about what I would give as like
It is down.
sort of like my general like critique of like the way that Uma Musume is set up, and I think that I have an idea of it. So the issue that the game has run into for me is that there isn't a lot of progress to be made past a certain point that isn't fundamentally just kind of like waiting on RNG in a way that's like not super compelling. So the basic progression for sort of like for breeding is first tied to acquiring like 3-star sparks for your basic stats for a total of how many horses do you need to be on? Maybe I think 4. It needs to be on 4 horses. Need to have need to be bred with 3-star sparks, right? So that you have both parents can have it, and both of the parents can have basically the same grandparents. So I believe that that's fine. I don't think that the grandparents all being the same matters. So fundamentally you're doing that. And the way that you do that is just by having that stat be high enough in the campaign to give you a chance that if the game decides to give you that stat as the inheritance stat, it will have a small, and I do mean small, chance of giving you a 3-star in that stat. And that's intrinsically fine, right? Like, as like a thing going from, okay, we need to get like as like our first breeding mechanism, we need to get ourselves to the point where we have had 3 like excellent horses that random themselves into passing down like that as a heritable trait. That's fine. The issue that you run into is that the heritable trait doesn't cross down between generations. So if you have like a 3-star speed, your children are not more likely to pass that to have a 3-star speed. Which means that all of a sudden, instead of having to get 3 horses with this very low percent chance of a thing happening, and then things get easier in the next generation, and easier in the next generation, and easier in the next generation. They don't really get easier. And it's like, okay, well, but you have higher stats, so it's easier to get to the point where you can pass down those traits. The issue with that is that it's kind of trivial to get your stats high enough to pass down the traits and succeed at the career. The run that I'm doing right now is maximally greedy, where I'm doing as many races as possible, and with an 8-star horse and basically with parents that are like fine but nothing particularly special, I am already trivially reaching the stat threshold. So the problem is that, from my perspective, it looks like it's going to be trivially easy to meet the threshold for the most aggressive form of, like, trying to make the parent. And then you just have to reload. I mean, you don't reload, but you just have to run it, like, a few hundred times to simultaneously get the sparks that you need and the thing. So, like, as an example, each race that you do has a 1 in 5 chance of giving you the spark for that race. That component, I think you can actually influence. I think that if you have other horses in the inheritance structure that also have that spark, it becomes easier to do it. I don't remember. I'd have to look at the source document. In order to identify that. But yeah, I'm not actually positive on that. So that component, you have to get a very good luck to actually get those sparks. In addition to having if you're looking for like a specific 3-star, which you probably are if you're talking about actually doing meaningful breeding, if you're looking for a specific stat, assuming that you succeeded every run and always have at least 1100 in that stat, you have a 2% chance of actually getting just that component on any given run. And runs take, like, a while, right? Like, I don't know how long exactly, but somewhere between, like, 20 and 30 minutes, I think, for a run. There's not really a meaningful way to speed them up. Like, you're not, like... I think that maybe if you were extremely fast and aggressive with it and you were working, like... if you're playing just very aggressively, maybe you can get it done in 10 minutes. I don't know. But, like, a run takes a long time, and it takes a lot, and it takes a certain amount of resources to do them. So, like, in theory, you should be able to get maybe, like, 3 or 4 runs per day done, with a 2% chance to just get, like, the most basic functionality that you're looking to get, and then you're looking for, like, getting additional luck on top of that for getting the actual sparks that you are, like, the additional ones. So this is in addition to a huge amount of randomness, like, in the actual runs themselves. But that, most of the randomness in the run isn't going to change your heritability much. So, from my perspective, what I would prefer is for the heritability to be more sticky. So, like, the more... First of all, I'd like for all of the traits to be heritable. And for it to just be kind of, like, randomized which ones are inherited. Similar like IVs with Pokemon, right? Like, rather than having, like, one stat that you're inheriting, it'd be like, okay, like, the stats are kind of derived from both parents to a greater or lesser degree. But even barring that, I would like for whatever stat you have as the highest to be the one that is most likely to be inherited. That would be preferable if they're only going to allow you to inherit one stat. And basically what I'd like is, if you have, like, a perfect run, if you like, do absolutely everything that you can do to maximize a run, I don't think you should have less than a 1 in 20 chance of accomplishing your objective. That's like the floor for me. Like, if you're getting a probability lower than that on a perfect run, then you're kind of just wasting my time at that point, right? But the other thing is that it needs to be harder to get a perfect run. There isn't enough variance where, like, it matters how the run went for, like, the fundamental, like, most important stuff. There just isn't enough, like I would almost say, like, the ranking that you get for your like the overall, like, success of the run, which it has some grading system that they have. That grade should give you, like, either limits on heritability or, like, buffs to the heritability in various ways, so that there's, like, a reason other than achievements to get horses of higher teeth, right? And to do things other than just, like, trying to max speed and stuff like that. That would be my preference, I think. And that's basically on a fundamental level, the complaint that I have is the game is simultaneously too easy and too luck dependent. It's, like, too easy to get a perfect run, and it takes too long to make your perfect runs do what you It's that simple. Because the issue is that it's tempting to go, okay, well, once you've got your first breeding horses, you can then use those to create more breeding horses, and that's true, you can, except the problem is that every time you make a new horse, you have to go through the same process with just the stat spark, and the stat spark's the most important spark. So every single horse is going to take that either 1 in 100 or 1 in 50 chance of getting the stat that you want, if you do a perfect run. Like, getting the stat you want to have the spark that you want with a perfect run, the probability of that caps at 1 in 50 or 1 in 100, depending on whether you can get the stat to 1100. So if you're looking for speed, which you probably won't be, it's trivially easy to get it to 1100. But getting 1100 stamina, no, that's not really a realistic goal. Like, you're not getting 1100 stamina and getting first place in every race, because stamina is not a stat that you need that much of, and you're just going to have to invest so much time and energy into it that, like, it's just not reasonable. Like, I don't think it would be even reasonable if you had, like, 3 stamina parents, right? Like, if you had a full set of parents that were nothing but stamina, it would be still massively too expensive to get to 1100 stamina with any degree of consistency, I think. Because you still need to have like 1100 speed and shit like that. I mean, I guess you don't. You could get away with probably 800 speed. And if you're just going for 800 speed and you have a really good parent, then like it might not be that crazy. But yeah, the issue is that like in most games where you're looking at like heritability, once you've gotten the ball rolling, you don't have to worry as much about like certain things, right? Like if you have like a Pokemon that has maximum speed IVs, you can pass that maximum speed IV fairly consistently down to the next generation, right? Like, and by fairly consistently, I mean it's like a 1 in 2 chance by default, I think, because I think they pass down three traits by default. No, it doesn't pass down 3 from each parent, so it's like a 1 in 6 maybe. It's like it's not hard. It's like not a low chance. That's a fairly common thing. However, as you get further along in your breeding stuff, right, you're trying to get more and more stuff, and that's the reason that things start escalating out of control. It's because like, okay, well, instead of just looking for like 1 trait maxed out, I'm looking to like max out multiple traits, which means that I now need to roll, multiple of these stats and this, that, and the other thing. But like, if I'm thinking about it, like, I think that the last stage of maxing out an individual Pokemon's IVs would be having 2 parents that have 5 IVs that are maxed, and using like a Destiny Knot or whatever, which allows you to inherit like 5 of the 6, and then you have a 1 in 6 chance of randoming the correct stat, and you have a 1 in 32 chance of having that stat be a max IV. So, that combines to like 1 in 200 total, right? Like, to get that perfect Pokemon is a 1 in 200 chance, right? And the issue is that every single step that you do in Uma Musume is temporary. It's like it's not heritable. It doesn't actually move down to the next generation at all. So because none of it moves down to the next generation, you're going to have to redo it every time. And the odds are extremely low for even like basic levels of there. Because like getting all of the stat sparks maxed out is not the equivalent of maxing all of your IVs. Getting all of your stat sparks maxed out is the equivalent of I would say maybe like maxing out like 1 or 2 of your IVs in terms of like how close you are to finished with the process. And you're never really going to finish. You're not going to get a perfect Uma Musume because the odds are just so astronomically low. Because of the number of things that you can have that you will not have because they have a 1 in 5 chance of happening. Paired with the astro... I think the thing that is the weirdest is that the thing that is the most baseline thing that you're looking for, which is getting those stat sparks maxed out, is the rarest component. Like, that's the hardest thing to get. And it doesn't even inherit across generations. I think that's the thing that is the most just, like, baffling. So that's my thinking, is that you just need to make it harder and make it more common when you actually get the rundown correctly. And I don't know that I have anything. I don't know if there's anything else really to say about it. Because I'm basically going to get bored and wander off at some point in the very near future. It would be nice to get my first 9-star done before that happens. Because at that point I can basically begin doing like then I can begin making like PvP characters, and like it might be that, but the issue is that creating a character that's good at racing and creating a character that's good breeding stock are directly are goals that are directly antagonistic to each other. So like doing races doesn't make the horse any better themselves. It just makes them, it has like any race that you do has a 1 in 5 chance of making the horse better breeding stock. But so like if you were going, so let's say that I finished up the first 9-star, right? It's tempting to go, oh well, is when you're making your racing horses, you'll get like good breeding horses accidentally. And that's just simply not the truth. That's just not how the mechanics work. Because when you're making a horse for the purpose of breeding, you're going to be running a bunch of races, and you just don't need to run a bunch of. I guess maybe you do for the skills anyway. Maybe there's less of a gap between the two than I think, because you do. if you can get the stats that you need, regardless, like maybe the thing is the limiting point is skill points. That might be more of a limiter. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe once you get your first like couple of breeding horses, getting a more coherent blend of breeding horses just becomes something that happens kind of automatically as you make your racers. I could see a world where that's the case. So I might be prematurely judging the relative like amount of time that you'd have to spend just making like the breeding stock itself. And there is the advantage that once you've made the breeding stock, in general, you don't need to make more of it. Like, you need a few, like there's like a finite pool that you need. So if the difference between running a campaign for building a racer, which I haven't really done much of, I kind of built the ones that I ran at the beginning with that goal in mind, but like they're all, you know, garbage. Because it's just like the first time I'm running the campaign with a horse. I'm not like following. I'm not like creating a build, right? Like I'm not following a plan that I've got. I'm just like throwing random shit at the wall. But if making horses is like sufficiently similar, regardless of what type of horse you're doing, at the higher end, I can see a world where it's not a problem. No, we haven't run into any more omnipotence yet. Okay, I might have talked myself around, and we're gonna play more horse game. That might actually be a thing. We might not be done with the gotcha apocalypse quite yet. I'm working fundamentally from the assumption that the only progression you're making is progression in your breeding stack. Yeah, this is like the Might and Magic 8 equivalent of AFL. That's correct. I mean, narratively, it's very different. This is basically a different plane of existence. So this is like the crystal in the center of town. Holy shit! How did that happen? All right, that gave us more than I expected. So with that, we are ready to go back to 6, which means we can do the hive. So it's like, it basically, you have like the 4 elemental planes, and that there's the crystal in the middle of town, and you go through the crystal in the middle of town to like track down like the source of what the fuck is happening with the elemental planes going crazy. And that leads you to that place.
can outfit you.
Junk.
Yeah, the Might and Magic 8 has an interesting
Junk.
dynamic to it. It's actually kind of funny because
Junk.
World of Warcraft just kind of blatantly took the plot of it for Wrath of the Lich King.
We don't need it.
Like the exact parameters of what's going on here is directly mirrored
Junk.
in
Worthless.
one of the World of Warcraft expansions.
Junk.
It's possible that they're both pulling from the same source material, but I'm not really familiar with.
We don't need it. Junk.
I'm not familiar with a source material that they would be both pulling from.
Worthless. Worthless. Junk.
Business.
Is this an upgrade for you? No, because it's the legendary. I think I am gonna just sell this. This is not the weapon store.
Our axes are the best.
Okay.
We don't need it.
Completely forgot that we
We
had
don't
an
need
entire
it. This item's weak. We don't need
other
it.
set of inventories
This
to
item's
deal
weak.
with.
We don't need it.
Oh, there might be a
Jump.
cute bird outside. I suspect there is. I
This
suspect
item's weak.
that there is.
Worthless. Leave it. This is useful.
Necromancer only dagger that doesn't give you spell stats. Top tier.
We can outfit you.
Junk. 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 We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need it. This item is weak. We don't need it. We don't need it. This item is weak.
Well, it actually might be a very naughty bird. We're not. Well, I'm still not clear on whether that bird that's hanging out there, which is very cute, is the one that's been yanking out some of the plants.
We don't need it. This item's weak.
Not eating them, just pulling them out and lying them down on the planter.
This item's weak. This item.
We haven't caught whatever bird is doing it in the act of doing it, so. But it also hasn't happened in a while because eventually Kaz just gave up on replanting that poor plant.
Rarities from across the land.
Junk.
It was one specific plant.
Junk.
There was one specific plant that was not a type of plant. No. It's one plant of 5 of these seedlings or whatever. One of them, pluck, turn, drop. Just the one of that particular type of plant. That there's multiple of that type of plant, and every single time the same exact one gets pulled out of the thing. None of the others get touched.
We don't need it. This item is weak. We don't need it. Worthless.
Now, can we completely eliminate the possibility that that plant did something to deserve the wrath of this bird? No, we cannot completely discount that possibility. However, it doesn't seem incredibly likely to me This is a possibility that seems unlikely.
Jump.
Shit. Okay.
Jump. Jump.
We don't need it. This item's weak. We don't need it. We don't need it.
So the second portion.
Jump.
Oh? Okay, this is a very good effect. Speed isn't amazing. Neither are the resists. But I don't know how good our belts are.
Jump.
So that might be quite useful, actually.
Business was a pleasure.
Let's see. We'll go over
Our
here.
axes are the best. Jump. Jump. Jump.
That was actually a very, very high roll on that. That was 200 to 1100.
We can outfit
Maybe
you.
I shouldn't have sold that.
Jump. 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 Jump.
Maybe I should have
This
held
might
on
be
to that.
good.
Okay, this is a relic bow. Which I think we have multiple copies of that now. Okay, how are our belts? Garbage. Fine. Fine. Okay, so we have one belt that we would replace. Nice sleep well, Celestial. Do I want to double luck this? This is actually really trash. I need to rewrite that one. Okay, we're gonna hit G. I want to see how many scouring pearls I have right now.
I have too much.
Ugh. See how things are going.
No room.
Oh,
Jump.
a bunch of stuff that I didn't identify for some reason.
We can outfit you.
Okay. Yawn. I guess I could, buy that from you for 20,000. Yawn. Though I guess with the amount of money that I have, if I was the one saying that. So do I have 28 million? I have 28 million now. Alright, we're going to somewhere. And we can clear out... We're clearing out the hive now, aren't we? Wait a second. Wait a tick. We heading all the way? We sure are. Okay, so we're going to head over to the hive, and we'll see how long it takes to clear through it. I should probably check how long it takes for me to do the next campaign so that I have an idea of the expected.
Let's go in.
Not the time to finish the thing. This is gonna kill me before I even get here. We're fine. Oh, these are the only ones that aggro. Okay. That was kind of surprising. Alright. I'm wondering if I want to handle this by trying to clear these from up here. Maybe it just says flush system activated at the start regardless, and it's not actually doing, like, the check there. Okay, we're not doing it in the most greedy fashion possible, but it's still pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna get behind cover. This is the wrong... Okay. I think that the initial thing here is fine, actually. I don't think that we need to worry about it too much. So let's actually just go behind cover rather than standing on the flush panel. Because it says flush system activated, but I don't know when it's actually going to activate. It doesn't seem to be activating at the start, regardless of what it says.
Where is the enemy?
It doesn't make a huge difference whether I... I'm just going to aggro everything. It's more fun that way. I don't think we're going to be able to do it while pulling everything, because there's going to be, like, bosses and shit in this that are going to massively fuck with us, but we are going to swap you... What are you casting right now? We're going to cast Rock Blast with you.
Ready.
You are going to do Soul Drinker, because there's just so many targets that I think it makes more sense to use Soul Drinker. You are going to swap to Prismatic Light. We're not going to do... We will do Soul Drinker, because it's better to get that little bit of healing. I don't think that the damage of that character is going to be super impactful, regardless. Whoa! Okay, so we've pulled one group there. Ah, yes, I can pull using Rock Blast potentially. Look at that. We just pull a single pack and then instantly die. So I didn't get behind the cover fast enough. Okay, this should work fine. I'm actually gonna reload the autosave because I don't think... Oh, maybe we did. Did we do the sensible thing? Oh my goodness, look at us. Look at us. Assigning people the correct spells. Okay, this is gonna probably kill us. You were way faster than you would like. If we get a boss right at the start here, we're probably just dead. I don't know that there's too much I can do about a boss here. Well, actually that's not true. There's plenty I can do about it. We would just need to do literally anything to make our lives easier. Okay, we've cleared 8% of the map. Oh shit, I just pulled another pack. I mean, I might not have. That's a problem. What? I don't even know what hit me there. Okay. We're basically going to clear out this first room, and then we'll save immediately after we've cleared the first room. We might just clear out the casters, honestly. The flyers, rather. Okay, we got another pack. Fuck. Okay. Soul Drinker does damage to everything in line of sight. It doesn't deal damage out of line of sight. Armageddon does. Armageddon hits everything on the map, but Armageddon is only usable on outdoor maps. It's not usable indoors.
Easy slave.
Incinerate's just a normal projectile. Oh, Inferno. Yeah, Inferno does not do damage to things out of line of sight. There are some things that you wouldn't think are in line of sight, but which are sometimes. So, like, it's not impossible to hit enemies without seeing anything, because you have line of sight, you just don't realize it, because it's shit. Okay, we're waiting for the flush sequence to finish. Okay, flush sequence is complete. Okay, we just hit a shit ton of them. There is a boss in this pack. I'm probably dead. I am 100% deceased. The flush sequence is a damage field that hits you wherever you are on the map, as long as you're not in the blue thing. In vanilla, it does such a trivial amount of damage that you probably aren't going to care about it, unless you don't have any, like, self-healing. But it basically will... It's similar to, like, being underwater. Right? It's like, if you get in the water, you'll take a bunch of damage. I don't know if... I need to figure out a strategy for dealing with big ones coming out. Those are hitting me from pretty far down. Yeah, the thing is that a lot of like the trap type stuff does massively more damage on this difficulty setting, and I don't want to spend the time finding out if the flush is just going to insta-get me. Because like radiation was like insta-getting me. Like the radiation effects were out of control. Like they were out of hand. I think I'm going to need to get to a different location to make this work. So let's...
Where is the enemy?
I don't think I can actually realistically fight those things up there. There's just too much... Whoa! Okay, well. We're just going to drop down to here. And once we drop down to here, we can basically start pulling into this corridor, which will hopefully be a little bit better as a fighting location. Except this comes both directions, right? It would be nice to have an easy access to a flush panel. Yeah. Oh, this is a flush panel. Okay, this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. So basically, we're just going to fight them as they come through this corridor. Okay, we have at least some incoming. We have another one coming from the other side. Oh shit. Can I hit those around that corner? Flush system activated. Flush sequence complete. We're actually switching to Toxic Web. That is a fucking Oracle Orb right there. So, cleared out a decent portion of that. My concern with doing this way, like what I was doing just there, is that if I get the flush sequence meshes, I can't see it. Because I'm just spamming attacks. And if I don't see the flush sequence message, I just die. Probably. Okay. I'm gonna just run forward. Oh, there's another one right here. complete. Okay. Scary. Okay, we have even more. Fuck, I just missed outright. Please? Whew. Okay, I can't stand at the door while using Spirit Lash, but I can stand close to the door while using Spirit Lash.
Ready.
We're going to Spirit Lash through this door.
Okay. Ow.
What? I'm on the thing, though. The flush sequence just killed me even though I was on the thing. I was clearly on this. God damn it. I should have saved. Okay. I do not know what happened there. Like, I actually don't know.
I love it.
I don't know how I died. I was standing on the thing when the flush system turned on, so... I should have been safe there. I don't think so. I could. It's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, great plan.
I am not invisible, so we're gonna die here automatically. I don't know that I can... Okay, there's a shadow here. I should have just pulled back. That was silly of me. Let's see. Do I... I'm gonna swap to Dragon Breath. I think Dragon Breath is more useful.
I bet it's going to be bad.
I am actually going to fight a little bit right here. Shit. I thought I had pressed X. We are going to invis, and we're gonna get back into that hole. Yeah, I should have saved.
Let's go in.
Let's That's what happens when you get greedy. Because, yeah, I had a very, very solid opening there. That was a very strong opening gambit.
Okay.
It's dark. The fire blast that the dragon itself does, that's fire damage. The default damage is the default damage is energy. The spell is fire, so the spell does a lot less damage to enemies like this than the normal attack. But the spell Dragon Breath is a dark magic spell. Both in terms of school and in terms of damage to everything. At least that's my understanding. I don't think it's been changed. That is a fucking reflecting. I should have gotten all the way out of that corner. Why am I not hitting you anyway? That's rough.
Let's investigate.
Yeah, I need to get like as much damage into whatever boss I'm gonna get as possible before we start like pulling them back too far. Damn. I should have pulled back. It's real nice having this like kill floor here where we can do just shit tons of damage, but it's at a certain point they're going to start hitting us with enough spells that we're guaranteed to go down. So we need to get out of there before then. We're looking to probably clear about 30% in order to clear out all of the Devil Kings in this section on its own. I guess that makes good sense. That's the first time Raven's even died. We almost are done. That's very funny. That's very funny. I think that there was no boss in that pack. I don't think it matters that much what the actual boss type is. It matters how many there are, maybe. I think there's maybe 2 in this pack. There are slower and more stable ways to do this. And I'm not doing them because the slower, more stable ways are going to take longer to finish because I'm going to still fuck them up. Whereas this is something that is going to take me a few attempts to get right. But, like, I was probably going to die there anyway. I could have just run away from those two once I got down to just them. And seen what my options were. There's one boss. There might be more, but there's at least one boss in this pack. I shouldn't be starting the attacks with... I do like starting this with, like, more greed, where I'm just, like, staying there to eat a couple of attacks and do the thing. I just need to not get hit by too many. Because it is real nice to be able to make use of Cassowary's damage. Though it's not really that necessary. Like, even with the AoE, Cassowary's one-shotting, these don't actually have very much HP. So, the need to... So this is the point where we go to here. Start clearing these. Eventually, I think I saw a boss. So eventually we're going to have to deal with the boss. I think the way to deal with the boss is to just run away from it as fast as possible and hope that we can outspeed to get to the end of the hallway. That's a reflecting Devil King. Wait. There's a Devil King directly above my head here. I don't know how this got here. Odd. Fuck. I could have easily dodged that. I couldn't have easily dodged that, but I could have dodged that. If I had been in a better position at the start, I could have easily dodged that, but... I shouldn't have moved. I moved because I saw reflecting, and then I saw myself at a sliver of HP, and I panicked. But the reason I'm at a sliver of HP is because I started a sliver of HP. Just completely forgot about the mechanics of my character. Oh god, that Swift just fell down? Oh, we're dead. Oh, we dead. That Swift Devil Warrior is just going to kill us on its own. So the Swift meelees will just come down and just drop on her head. Okay, we have a boss there. So there's one boss in the back of the room. Hypothetically, we could try to pull... like a smaller subset of the enemies. That's a fixator, so we need to just pull back. We can hopefully dodge some of the attacks. I don't know how we're gonna deal with the bosses, honestly. The only thing I can think of for the bosses is single pulling. And like getting them all the way down that corridor, because they have a lot of HP. It is not... We're not killing them fast. I'll tell you that much. The other thing we could try to do, which is not necessarily unreasonable, we could try... we could try doing a different hallway if we wanted, which is not an unreasonable thing to do. We could actually just... No, we're not going to... You know what we will? We're going to stand in this hallway. Right here. On top of the flush thing. And see if anybody comes out that way. I can shoot into that room. It does look like they're more prone to popping toward the bottom than popping toward the top. Which is fine. I wonder if there's something I can do with that gigantic swarm all consolidated in one spot. I just fully whiffed. Flush system activated, I need to get to here. Okay, flush sequence is completed. It does look like they get stuck there. Like, they're not fully stuck, they are releasing periodically, but... A shit ton of them got stuck. It's not really that many, though, honestly. Like, we've just barely killed... kind of like what we would kill during the opening salvo from the other side. It looks like standing here when we hit them, we are pulling them. Just suboptimal. If I stand here... Shit, I'm stuck in the wall. Flush system activated. Okay. Gonna die. We didn't die. Okay, we're probably gonna die from this. We are somehow still alive. For now. I'm gonna die. No, I don't have enough range. Oh, never mind. We have some corners here that we can play with. The corners are very good. I need this thing to die before the next flush sequence starts. That's the thing I need to stand on. Whew. Rough times. Rough times.
I bet it's going to be bad.
I should have just stayed where I was. What did I do? Why am I doing this? That's fine. Okay, so that's 9% cleared. Was that 25? No, that was something nice. We'll just go there. Oh man. we were almost done. We were almost done. We'd almost cleared it. You know, this might actually just be the way to do it. Is just like try to do it from up here. We can clear out this group. Jump. We don't have to pull literally everything at once, which gives us the ability to like regen and stuff like that in between packs. Okay, we've got... That's a regenerating Devil King. So we need it to get killed while it's still puttering around out there. It is unfortunately a melee. And since it's a melee, there's no, like... There's no way that I'm going to be able to just, like, fight it while I'm up there.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, I do think that because of the nature of the... I'm actually going to check this side. Let's check this corridor. There's a thing right here. This is a much more windy corridor. This is actually a way better place to fight. We're just going to spam Rock Blast down this corridor. This is a very tight corridor. And the idea here is to just hold down S until every enemy is dead. Wow, the first shot killed me. First shot that came around the corner.
I love
Alright, but yeah, I think that's gonna work way better. It also only has one entrance, which is nice. Please? Could you please die? Why am I not killing you? I have no idea how that thing survived that long. That wasn't a boss, that was just a normal enemy. I think that somehow the fire attack was just missing. But yeah, this shouldn't be too bad if we're fighting from in here, I think. I think there's probably a way to deal with the bosses. One of the things that's interesting is that the bosses are consistently at the back of the pack, like pretty regularly toward the very end of what I'm pulling. I've killed so many. I need to get to a flush point, I think. I think we've cleared a third of the enemies. We're saving. We're saving this under danger. Okay. I'm gonna go back this way. Anybody else over here? No. Okay, I think we've actually cleared all of those, which is great. With that being done, can I hit you? I might be able to hit these. The answer is yes, we can. Okay. So there's a shadow in this room, probably. Yep. It is this room. So, I don't know that we want to deal with this enemy yet. I think I want to clear more first. In theory, the flush sequence should be activating in a few seconds, but it might not. It might be. It looks like it's looking at it in terms of time since the thinger. There is there's a protected spot from the flush right here. So do we want to fight these here? I don't think so. I think we fight these at the thing. But they can't actually go through that door. So, given that they can't go through the door, maybe I do just go over there. Because I can probably just shoot the... at the very least, I should be able to hit them with earth blast things. But, like, I can potentially... Oh, never mind. They are coming through. Maybe only the lowest tier, actually. Somebody on my left too. Okay, they're downstairs, I think. Okay, I've cleared the first 2 rooms. It looks like now. We've cleared the upstairs section there. I don't remember where the switch is to get me back to the entrance. Okay. There's a switch here. I'm gonna die. There's a boss in here. And this is not like a great room to be fighting with them. So, we probably don't want to do that. What I'd love to do... What is this for? Whoa, wait, what? You can deactivate the flush system? I didn't even know you could do that. That's so I don't know why I didn't realize you could deactivate the flush system. Okay. Interesting. So, now that we know that that's there, let's pop over here. It's fun because it's not like I don't kill the enemies in here.
It is
But yeah, this is a dangerous setup. I wonder how we handle this. Let's clear out. I think we just go about this the way that we did the previous time. With some slight alterations. So we're going to clear out this room, and then with this room cleared out, we can fairly trivially tag the upstairs. If we can get ourselves to the point where we're in the green anywhere in this dungeon, I think we'll be in really good shape. We're gonna swap you to Toxic Cloud because it's cheap. Okay, so those are toast. Put those down. We need to... Do I want to wait out the flush? Okay, I'm going to stand on the protected spot. Okay. So, now we're almost to the point where we can deactivate the flush. We just need to open this door back here. And then, boom. Flush sequence is deactivated. Oh, okay, I think I get it. So we need to deactivate the flush sequence and then go through the other direction if we want to keep it off. I get it. So I think there's a route from over here. That's a boss. Love that for me. Oh god. Okay, so this is going to kill me, almost certainly. Please? Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if I can make use of that later. If I stand all the way in the back... It, The is this pathway open now? How do I get... Is it... This is the way, I think. Okay. No. So going into this room activates the flush sequence. So how the fuck would I... I guess I could use a beacon? Excuse me. I could, in theory, use Lloyd's beacon. Yeah, there isn't a spot that's in the green here. Okay, I think I just prevented... you just need to jump over that first panel. It's just that hallway. It's not the middle section. Oh, there's a big hole in the ground here. Do we drop down into the big hole in the ground? I feel like no. We've actually got about half the dungeon done. This door won't budge, so that's not an option. So with that being the case... Whoa! Oh, maybe I had the bouncy thing. Maybe I had that bug on. So yeah, I don't actually know how to deactivate the flush sequence. It deactivates, but then I teleport to a place that activates it again, so... I don't know how I'm supposed to... keep it. That's a really big panel there. Unfortunately. Probably gonna get killed. Maybe not. I don't actually think there's a boss in this room. So, we might die here. Very high probability of it happening. But... if we can kill the rest of this room, it probably won't get us into green, but it should get us to 65%. We have to go in here because... oh, there is a boss in here. We're probably fucked here. How are we not dead yet? Jesus Christ. This room might not be 65%, actually. So, we are not going to need to worry too much. We need to clear out this group back here. What we're basically looking to do is get ourselves to 65% so that we can just pop out and we can save at the entrance. That's the general gist. So that room that we were in is going to be the same room again. Like, there's not going to be different enemies in it, which means that we know that we can pull that room fairly safely once we get there. The thing was right at the entrance. We're gonna swap you to Toxic Cloud. That's 42%. If we go down there, we're gonna have to deal with some stuff. What just happened to me? Oh, you came up and changed my HP values, yes. So flush system's active. We're gonna stand on our protected tile that we're on. There was a boss in the room that opened this door, wasn't there? Okay, let's go down this way. I'm now realizing that I don't know that I can consistently fight that boss. Though, actually, now that I think about it, maybe I can consistently fight that boss. Because I feel like that room I can potentially get through with... I'm curious about this room. Yeah, there is a boss in here, so I'm not going to be able to clear this room safely. Probably. Maybe I can if I just stay in this corner here. We're using this as a proof of concept because it takes a while to get to here. No, that's not super safe. Not safe enough for our needs, probably. So, I think we're going to try that other room. This room is, I think, a no-go, right? Actually, what does this switch do? Did I ever establish what this switch does? I don't think I did. That's done. I think if I hit that switch, I teleport up to the top, even... I don't think that the other switch that I just hit is going to prevent that. I think that maybe opens that other door. There's a keg here. We will ignore that for now. That's very funny. Okay.
It is down.
Okay. So. Do I go... Do I go hit the flush switch? Oh, there's a door here. Just fully didn't notice this door was here. Does this do anything useful for me? No, but it does give me some clearance and there's no bosses, so we should do that. That should be just one of the doors that we clear. So let's do that. Let's see how much of this... Okay. What is that about coming from? Okay, that worked. Okay. I think I want to wait for the next flush sequence before I leave here.
Ow!
What? Okay, I think the flush sequence thing might actually... It might be that I'm standing on a body. It might be that I'm standing on a body and that's what's killing me. Which is kind of funny, but I think that's what it is.
Got it.
Ow!
Jesus. Okay, we need to switch you to Toxic Cloud. We have not taken those ones at the entrance down yet, so we need to go over this way. Something just spawned. Gotcha. So there's enemies that spawn in this room when you come out here.
It is down.
Holy shit! I just got in the green. This changes fucking everything. Okay then. Ho 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 ho. So we can save this under dungeon. We now have 4 saves, and we can approach areas while invis. So this door will not budge.
Okay.
Ready to use.
So we'll see if the flush system kills me. Okay, it didn't this time. And that's all of the enemies that were pre-aggroed there. Almost certainly not all the enemies in that area, but... Can I just kill all of you? Can I just kill you through this door? Are you just gonna let me get away with that? Is that how this is gonna go? There's more than one of you. I think I have them all. Okay, there's just the one boss left. This hits hard. It's mostly hitting hard because of the percent base damage, I think. Is there more than one? No. Yeah, there is. There's more than there's 2 over there.
Nice shot.
Okay, we killed those. That's probably not everybody in the room. We're going to switch you to
Okay.
Prismatic. We're going to switch you back to Life Drain.
Ready to use.
And we are going to head back to the top, I think. I don't think there's any other enemies along the way to the upstairs. So we got into the green here. We can invis. And with us having invis, when do we save? We just killed 2 bosses. I think I'm gonna save. We're just gonna take the save here. We're not gonna take the save here. Well, it's a good thing that I didn't have 10 food, or I would be in trouble, because I was also saving over the save that I already had. Let's see here. I wasn't rotating back and forth that time. So let's go over. I'm going to stand on this protected platform. And then we are going to pop over here, open this. Clear out that pack. Hit this switch, which does something. That opens the gate in the middle. I remember now. Let's go hit the switch over here now. Why did that do it twice? Weird. Right, we're going to open this. Yes, we're going to open this. And telekinesis this switch. I don't know what that switch does. And then we're going to turn off the flush. Just for shits and giggles. Just teleport ourselves back to the entrance. Now, it hasn't told me that the flush system is reactivated. I'm looking to hopefully get, like, so this is just not gonna work consistently for whatever reason. Like, this location is just not good for this. Let's go invis, and then we can pop into the back room with the giant swarm of enemies, maybe? Is that how I want to handle this? Or do I want to head down here? I'm going to head down here, actually, because we haven't been this way, and we don't know that there's bosses here. So let's check this. So there's enemies on either side here. This is a fairly large pull. Okay, we pulled some enemies from this room now. What we're looking for now is just to get out. Because we can walk out the door pretty much the second that we find our way back, I assume. We have a boss in this area. Monsters are weakened, can no longer resurrect. Do we just leave? Okay, that does mean that we have the ability to save a little bit more willy-nilly here. So this is when we had already cleared these. We hadn't opened this. We hit this switch, which does something, I assume, but I don't know what. We're just going to rotate back out to here, and let's just go straight to the north side, huh? That's probably the easiest thing to do. So that didn't open this time, which is interesting. I wonder if it didn't open because I didn't go back via the other entrance. is a pretty rough pull. It entails at least one boss in one of the side passages that may or may not automatically get stuck. I just don't know. And unfortunately, we have 3 minutes left, so this is our last pull. After this, I do need to go because I can't stay late today. I have a dinner to go to. I guess a lunch to go to. That's been rough. Yeah, we don't have time. Unfortunately, 2 minutes is not going to be sufficient to finish this up. So that is unfortunately going to be it for today. We will finish this tomorrow, and then we will have one of the 3 games completed. That's going to be pretty good. But that's going to be it for today. So thank you for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure streaming with this for you today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow when we will be hopefully clearing Might and Magic 6. There, folks.